So I watched Iron Lunge. This is Markiplier's movie, and before I get into my actual review of it, I will give the general platitude that I hear everybody give when they talk about it. It is very cool that Markiplier released this movie by himself in theaters outside of the traditional Hollywood system, and it actually went head to head with Send Help, a, mainstream made by Hollywood film. That being said, I will give a little bit of a caveat, caveats time. I do feel like people are treating this as if it's like an underdog story, and I don't know if I quite agree with that. First of all, it needs to be said that Markiplier is a millionaire. Like, I would assume he has like tens of millions of dollars in the bank. I don't think that him rummaging through his couch cushion and pulling out some loose change and making a movie with $3 million is an underdog story. I just don't think that that's true. I think that a millionaire, an incredibly wealthy person, can just make his own movie. That's not. I guess people are treating it like it's Kevin Spacey, or not Kevin Spacey, Kevin Smith, like mortgaging his house and maxing out all of his credit cards to make the first Clerks movie. It's like, no. And it's like, on the other hand, we're like pitting this narrative against Sam Raimi, right? Who made Send Help, who has been trying to get this movie made and get this movie funded. I think I was reading since like the early 2000s. It's like, if anybody's an underdog here, it is Sam Raimi. Like, yes, it was funded by a big studio, but like, Sam Raimi is the underdog here who barely got his movie made after like 2 decades. So I don't know. Again, it's cool. The Markiplier side of it is cool. But it's just not this like indie, like it's technically an indie movie, but it's not what I think of really when I think indie. It's not like the spirit of indie. So anyways, I don't know. Whatever, who cares? I just move. Let's get into the movie itself. It's not good. So, Iron Lung is this like cosmic horror movie about the far-flung future, and humanity is on the brink of extinction. And so they send Markiplier, I don't remember his character's name. They send him off to this like planet with an ocean full of blood, and they put him in a submarine, and they're like, hey, if you find this thing, you might save humanity or something. I'm going to be honest with you. The plot of this movie is admittedly fairly simple, but the world building is pretty bad. Like, I feel like they just didn't do a good job of clearly explaining like what exactly is going on and why I'm supposed to care about any of this. And I get it. It's like, it's based off of an indie game, and it's one of those indie games that's very vague with its lore and its stories. And you're supposed to play the game, not really understand what's going on, and then you watch a game theory MatPat video and you go, oh, that's what's going on. So I understand the type of storytelling that it's trying to do. I just don't think it really works for a movie, because when you're watching this movie, you're not actually playing the game, right? When you're playing a game and it has a minimal story, you're still having a cool experience of gameplay. But when you're watching a movie, you kind of want more information. You want more context for everything. And so I do think the movie just fails at the very fundamental level of making me care about any of these characters, making me care about this world, making me invested in the journey that our character is going on. Markiplier himself, he's not good, right? Like, I will give him some more credit here. This is a very ambitious film. Like, he is the director, he is the editor, he's the screenwriter, and he is the performer. And when I say he is the performer, he is literally basically the only performer in the movie, because the entire movie takes place in this submarine that it's in. Like, they don't even have I'm trying to remember. I don't know if they have one like exterior shot of the ocean, of the blood ocean that they're in. I don't know if they have like one exterior shot like underwater showing you the submarine. I don't think they do actually. So you're just in this submarine with Markiplier, and he's expected to carry the movie. And so I do think that while, yes, it's commendable that he took all this on, I do think that it's worth criticizing him from an ego perspective. It's like, dude, like why would you think that you're capable of doing all of this and doing all of it well? Like, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe it was a budgetary perspective of, hey, I'm willing to spend $3 million on this thing, but in order to do it, I kind of have to wear a lot of hats. If it's because of that reason, then fair enough. But if it was like an ego reason of, I want to do all of this, and he couldn't get like a good actor in the role, if he couldn't get a good director or a good screenwriter or a good editor, I mean, dude, come on. Like, this is something that I also criticized Chris Stuckman for, right? Of like, dude, you've never done this before. Maybe, direct somebody else's script. That's what I said about the Chris Stuckman movie, Shelby Oaks. I actually thought that Chris Stuckman was a pretty slick director behind the camera, but the script just wasn't good. The story wasn't ultimately all that satisfying. There's just like not much to praise here as far as Iron Lung. The acting is bad. The directing is uninteresting. I already talked about the story, the screenwriting. It doesn't get you invested in it. And the editing is bad. The movie's really boring. This movie's 2 hours long. I've described you what the movie is. It's just Markiplier in a submarine for 2 hours. And it's not enough to get you invested, right? This is an incredibly difficult story to tell for even an experienced director, an experienced screenwriter, an experienced actor. And Markiplier is just not any of those things. And so, like a good editor should have been able to shave off at least a half hour off of this thing. So yeah, look, I appreciate an artist being able to just make their art and having the funds to just be able to release it as is and not do it in the regular studio system. Like, sure, that side of it is cool. But it also resulted in a shitty movie. Like, I really do think that the best art probably comes from the balance of artistic freedom and studio notes. Because if you just let an artist go free, you're going to get something like The Irishman, which is super boring, and Martin Scorsese is doing this shitty de-aging that doesn't look good. Like, if he had made that movie with a studio and took their notes, guess what? The budget would have needed to be lower, and Martin Scorsese would have actually had to hire younger actors to play the younger versions of Robert De Niro and all those people. And it would have resulted in a better movie. It would have resulted in a shorter movie, which also probably would have been better. So it's like, I don't know. Theoretically, philosophically, I think it's cool that Markiplier got to make his own movie. But I also can't help but feel like under a good studio process, it probably would have come out to be a better movie, right? They probably would have pushed for other people to be the director or the actor or the whatever. They would have pushed for it to be shorter probably, and that would have resulted in a better movie. So I don't know. Again, philosophically, cool. If he's satisfied with his art, cool. If the audience is satisfied with it, cool. It made its money back. So I guess all that being said, it's fine. It doesn't have to be for me. It doesn't have to be quote unquote good. But I think it could be good. I think it could be better. I think Markiplier could have made a better movie that his audience could have enjoyed more, and that other people could have enjoyed more. And so I think that if he ever listens to this, which he won't, but if I were speaking to him, I would just say that maybe he should consider not taking on so many responsibilities next time. But I don't know, whatever. Who cares? Not me. Let me know what you think about the movie in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.